Welcome ourselves to the rumor mill.
This is going to be the rumor mill. We do want to kind of just say it in remembrance. Don Shula passed away. Yep. He's one of the greats. I believe he is the winningest coach of all time by percentage. Mm-hmm. I don't think he has more wins than Belichick, but by percentage, he's the winningest coach.
Definitely popular in Miami for sure.
Right, so that is very sad for all football fans, but particularly for Miami fans. That really hits home for them. Anyways, after that, on to the rumor mill.
Big rumor came out the other day. Aaron Rodgers, could he possibly go to the Las Vegas Raiders?
Possibly.
Stop it right there. It's Oakland.
It's so weird saying Las Vegas Raiders anymore, but
it is.
Gruden is a big fan of Rodgers.
Right.
I mean, we know that. And Gruden, in his past, has tended to go with older quarterbacks, right. Veteran quarterbacks. You go back to Rich Gannon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Rich Gannon.
Pocket quarterbacks as well.
And, I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know. I do think Rodgers is probably going to want out. I mean, after what they did this season,
they didn't get him any help, and instead they drafted a quarterback.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much telling him that they don't want him there.
Get out.
You just like talking about Rodgers, don't you?
I just want him to go out of the division.
As a Vikings fan, you love talking about Rodgers.
He can just, he can go somewhere else.
I agree with you. The funny thing is, though, the Raiders is your second team.
The Raiders are my second favorite team.
So he would go there and you'd have to...
Like I said, I know. Well, see, I did that with Favre.
It's a sticky situation.
I did it with Favre. I grew up hating Favre, and then all of a sudden it's like, I guess I got to root for him.
So, I mean, as long as he went to, like, the Raiders, a team that you like, then you could root for him a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of teams that would be interested in Rodgers if they were going to get rid of him. I mean,
I think so, too. But the Raiders are the top rumor.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it's a solid rumor. We kind of talked about the quarterbacks. A lot of the teams are set at quarterback. I do believe the Raiders are, but are they really sold with Carr?
Mariota?
I don't think
so. I mean, if Rodgers was there, like Cam, maybe. I don't know if Cam would be able to overtake Carr, especially since Carr already knows the system. But Rodgers would instantly overtake Carr.
Well, they did pick up Mariota too. So they've got Carr
and they've
Mariota.
they've already got their
back. Rodgers and had a three-man band.
Yeah.
I don't know. Derek Carr's he's hit and miss with me.
Right.
He can be good, but he's one of those guys that if everything's perfect,
then he
really he hasn't been the same since he got hurt.
No, he hasn't. But that's why I was saying if Rodgers was realistically on the table, I think they would pull the trigger on it. Mm-hmm. They would take Rodgers over Carr in a heartbeat.
Yeah, they would.
So that's it for the Rodgers news. There's a little bit of Steelers news out there. They
don't want anybody.
Yeah, they don't want
selling everyone.
They have said that they are not going to retain James Conner, Juju Smith, and Villanueva, and they would be on potentially the trade block for draft picks or what have you.
It sounds like they're rebuilding. It's a rebuild. Big Ben's getting older. I don't know if they've got the answer at quarterback behind him with Mason Rudolph.
Whack-a-mole.
James Conner had his moments. At first, after Le'Veon Bell left, Conner looked really good.
He kind
of fizzled out.
I knew it was the line.
And Schuster, I mean, he's not a number one. He did a lot better when Brown was there. You know what I mean?
Because Brown alleviated a lot of that pressure by being the one.
So they're kind of, I mean, that's what it sounds like. They're just starting over. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
now, if that rumor is true and they are on the market, you guys could get one of them for a third and a fifth or third and a fourth. Yeah, like a realistic package, a realistic draft pick, not a number one or two, but third, fourth round. Who would you guys realistically want? For the Cowboys, I would say Villanueva because we've already got Zeke and we've already got wide receivers. We're already set 1 through 3 on wide receivers.
No.
I would say Villanueva would add depth to our line. That's all I would want out of those 3, though. If we did trade
for I was Dallas, I'd want Connor as a backup to Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, Connor would be a good backup, but I wouldn't give more than a 5th for him. And I don't know if they'd sell him for that low.
I think Schuster would be good, for a team. Obviously not as number 1, but see, like with the Vikings, got Adam Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be bad.
You got the new man.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson. But
so for you guys, it'd be wide receiver, maybe wide receiver Ravens.
I'd have to say wide receiver because we got 4 running backs.
I would only really want Villanueva.
And he's good too, and they could use him as on the line. But I don't know. But I think if the Steelers, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if you should just tear everything down because they were still pretty competitive last year. I mean, Big Ben went down. They were almost into the playoffs, weren't they? I mean, they were close, and they had tons of injuries. So, I don't know.
Now, outside of our teams, who do you think would realistically make a push? Trade maybe a 3rd and a 5th for one of those, one of the.
I can see New England taking Juju, but the problem with that is I don't think the Steelers would trade him to the Patriots.
Right.
The Jets need a receiver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anywhere for Connor?
I
don't think he's.
Or do you think I don't think he's
a starter.
You think he's just going to have to be kind of stuck in Pittsburgh for 1 year and then let the deal run out and then
probably. I don't
try to find work next year?
I don't see anybody trading
for him.
Connor. I think if they're going to let him go,
maybe Villanueva though. Villanueva's a solid line. He's a solid lineman.
I could see that. And there's a lot of teams that could use him. So. Cincinnati, but they're probably not going to trade him.
Right.
I could see Juju going there.
Yep.
Young quarterback.
Adding a little more for Burrow to work with. Anyways, that's it for the Pittsburgh. Is there anything else on the rumor?
Ravens and Antonio Brown.
Okay.
Brown posted a Snapchat of him in a Ravens uniform.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think you shared that with us.
I'm telling you what, he's going to be a Raven.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a rumor mill, but it could turn out to be realistic.
I think if any team takes a chance on him, they're stupid.
That's what makes us winners.
I'm just saying, I mean...
He has to have the right attitude.
He went to 2 teams in 1 season and didn't last either one.
Right.
Probably more than
that. But has he learned his lesson? I mean... having the year off and knowing that the teams aren't going to take a chance on him, has that made him realize, man, the shield is bigger than me?
I think there's more.
Know what I mean?
I think there's more going on up here,
right,
than people know.
But if he were to get his attitude straight in a perfect world, he goes to the Ravens. I think that would become a threat.
His feet might hurt.
I think they sign him. If they do, but I mean, obviously a non-guaranteed contract. Go through
1 year deal.
If he makes...
You might have to pay him by game. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, it's. I don't know, man.
I say they would do a 1 year deal, and it would be a prove it. It would be a prove that you can be stable type deal, and they could cut him at any time. But would he sign something like that? I mean, if he wants to be back in the league, that's what it's going to take.
I mean, he was practicing with Lamar and Hollywood. Hollywood is his cousin.
And
maybe his cousin gave him in line. I don't know.
Right, maybe his cousin, maybe Lamar, maybe being in a successful situation, which he was in Pittsburgh. That's what I don't. And
he went to New England.
New England's the most successful team around.
Yeah, and if you get, that was my whole thing. If you can't make it there, where are you gonna make it at?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gordon did the same thing.
But that's why I'm wondering, having
He's looking for a job still.
Having the year off and realizing that he's not bigger than the Shield. I think maybe that would be the point that has been made. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Like you said, maybe he still's got stuff going on up here.
I think there is. But
we'll have to see.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's one of the best receivers when he's got his shit together. But
see, I think.
But that's why I said in a perfect world he would go there. Yeah. The Ravens would be a fucking threat.
He would take them to the Super Bowl favorites. With
At least he'll take you to the AFC Championship.
Because I think
it'd be you and the Chiefs. It'd be Ravens and Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
I hate saying it, but I think the Chiefs would best the Ravens
right
now. just with.
But he would give you a puncher's chance.
I'd give Lamar more help in the running game. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like you said, if it's non-guaranteed.
In a perfect world, right? He would have to have his attitude right.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe.
Anyways,
the world's a twisted place.
Yeah, I think that's about it for the official rumor wire. May 7th, Thursday, the schedule comes out.
I think it's at like 7:30.
7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So the schedule comes out on Thursday, May 7th, and obviously we record the week after.
Yeah.
So we will elaborate a little more.
We'll go into
next
depth,
week.
see what the best matchups are.
Maybe strength of schedule.
Yeah.
Maybe the top 5 hardest and the top 5 lowest.
But for the 5 viewers that actually watch us and watch the videos to the end, if you do, then that'll be something to look forward to next week.
I'm curious to see what the kickoff game is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Chiefs maybe against someone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can see that.
It could be Chiefs and Ravens.
Dallas is going to be fucking Dallas and New York every year. It's Dallas and New York. That's always our opener.
Damn it! You're a dedicated fan when you know the fucking opener.
I'm actually getting a little worn out from it. It's like it would be cool to see something.
It's an easy win.
Most years, there's a couple tough ones, and a couple losses. But anyways, I'm hoping they change it up a little bit. Hopefully it's not Dallas and Giants.
And they're gonna do. There's not gonna be any out of country games this year. They already came out and said they're not doing any London games,
international
or Mexico games. So.
Really, I could see the Ravens and Chiefs being a later game.
Mm-hmm.
I could see the Eagles and Cowboys being a later game, and then the Vikings. I don't know. It's probably Green Bay because that'll probably be you guys will be going at the end of the division. Being a later week.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But it's gonna be exciting. Supposedly the season's on track still.
Yeah.
The coronavirus has definitely slowed things down, but
now whether they play to empty stadiums or I don't know what they're gonna do.
There's been a few stadiums that I've kind of seen on the news outlets that said 15,000 capacity, but then they would spread that 15,000 out. So I'm guessing that they're gonna do fans, but it's gonna be limited capacity. Very limited capacity. Unless if things ease up a little more than already. But they do want to have some fans in the stadiums from the early goings, from what I've heard.
This is looking good for the Browns.
Mm-hmm. The Browns are going to have to teach everyone how to deal with the
team
season
loyalty.
Like this. Yeah. Anyhow, I think that's it for episode 3. Tune in next week for us to hear us talk about the schedule.
And hopefully some more news breaks because
nothing's
we're
going
running
on.
out of stuff to talk about. So
Running
away.
Peace
like
out.
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Comment.
Bye. Even if it's negative.
Negative. We love negative.
I love it.